Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwan, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about the Blackstone Fortress box set as we get into the lore of each individual hero within the game. I guess it's arguable to say hero, but each individual good guy, I guess you could say. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. And of course, stay to the end of the video. We want to talk about the giveaway. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Blackstone Fortress. Intrepid and audacious, JANUS DRAIK has traveled far and wide in search of rare commodities to sell to humanity's ruling elite. As a rogue trader, his warrant of trade grants him the authority to explore beyond the charted regions of Imperial space and to negotiate agreements with Xeno races, so long as such activities serve to strengthen the Imperium. He is a skilled duelist and has slain all manner of creatures over the course of his travels. By locating and exploring the Blackstone Fortress, DRAIK hopes to unlock the terrifying power of the space station and claim it for mankind. At the same time, any archaeotech he finds that could be sold or used in future pursuits makes a welcome addition to his ship's hold. An agent of House LOCARNO, one of the great navigator houses, ESPERN LOCARNO is a sanctioned Imperial mutant. Like all of his kind, ESPERN has a third eye, capable of both seeing into the immaterium and unleashing devastating warp energy at those whom its gaze is cast. When news of the Blackstone Fortress reached House LOCARNO, ESPERN was sent to investigate, for it was believed by the house that amongst the wreckage sussummed by the fortress, there could be cargoes from millennia past, for which the Navigator House still held contract. Furthermore, ESPERN hopes to obtain the time and space-bending technologies of the Blackstone Fortress itself, which are greatly desired by starfaring navigators. As an Adeptus Ministorum priest, Titus the Purifier has spread faith in the Emperor's godhood across the stars. Whether amongst the unwashed scum of a teeming hive world, or fighting alongside the heaving ranks of the Astra Militarum soldiery, his words steer Imperial souls towards righteousness and are backed by brutal swings of his power maul. More than one planetary governor has been brought low by Titus, his winnowing gaze seeing through the finery to detect deep-seated corruption or psychic mutation. In truth, bringing the justice of the faithful to those loftiest of individuals is the one true joy in which Titus indulges, for in the pyre flames of the accused, he sees images that he believes to be messages from the God Emperor. He saw one such image while immolating an impenitent Navyman who was spreading rumors about the Blackstone Fortress. This vision showed Titus that he must travel to the western reaches and carry the Emperor's light into the darkness. Now that he has arrived on Precipice, the Purifier sees that there is much righteous work for him to undertake, both in cleansing the heretical inhabitants of the Blackstone Fortress and in cementing the Imperial Creed within the settlement itself. VORNE is a missionary in the service of Titus the Purifier, having been taken under his wing when she was little more than a teenager. She grew up amongst the refinery clans of the hive world of Gatsmain, and when the Purifier arrived to weed out the rumored chaos cults that were fomenting heresy amongst the workers, VORNE watched the priest's actions with open admiration. 7 of her clanspeople were identified as potential heretics and were lashed to a pyre stake for purification, but after they had been doused in sacred oils, one slipped its bond and fled. The fugitive raced into the crowd of onlookers, away from the bellowing Titus, and straight into VORNE, who pushed the oil-drenched man into an exposed pilot light on the side of an alchemite stack. So intense was the heat of the man's combustion that the skin on VORNE's lips and hands also burnt away, yet still she watched eagerly until the screaming heretic had been reduced to ash. Titus saw one like himself in VORNE and gave her the name PIOUS, as well as a flamer, with which she would continue the Emperor's work. Now as she heads into the Blackstone Fortress, pious VORNE seeks to bring righteous fire to those who have not seen the light of the Imperium. As a ranger, AMALLYN SHADOWGUIDE is used to operating far from her craft world's home of Biltan. For long centuries, she has traveled the webway, the subdimension that connects distant stars, hunting down the enemies of her people and seeking ways to return the Eldari race to its former glory. Her craft world was fractured during a massive battle. Ravenous demons fought the avatar of the newly formed Eldari god Ennead in a conflict so destructive that it helped tear open the Great Rift. The demon hordes were driven back, the enormous spacecraft was damaged beyond repair, and many of the Eldar souls stored within its infinity circuit were lost forever. After receiving word from Beltan's Farseer, AMALLYN set out to find the Blackstone fortress, for they had foreseen that deep within its labyrinthian corridors were millennia-old remnants of Eldari technology that might be used to restore their craft world. There were few amongst the Eldar better suited to this task than AMALLYN SHADOWGUIDE. Her very name is derived from the Eldari word of Utmesha, which means secret through shadows, and is borne by those who strive to master the darkness that surrounds them, as well as the darkness within themselves. A member of the mercenary species known as the Kroot, DRAIK is an experienced tracker for hire. Kroot are commonly encountered as auxiliaries deployed by the Tau Empire, and are known as savage, animalistic warriors who devour the flesh of those they kill in battle. Many adventurers on Precipice think that trusting such a bestial creatures is tantamount to ripping out one's own throat, but little do they know how crucial the mercenary culture is to the Kroot, and how seriously they take their violent profession. Each new contract fulfilled wins them the means to travel further across the stars, and in this way they are able to absorb a variety of genetic traits of those foes that they devour. To betray a client would be to jeopardize his way of life, and to stem the flow of consumed flesh that allows his entire species to evolve. DRAIK himself has honed his craft of tracking and slaughtering enemies in multiple war zones, and in service of various client races. He cares not whom he serves, so long as they pay, but in devouring the denizens of the Blackstone fortress, DRAIK has learnt much of the darkened maze. He has told no one what he has discovered in this way, but now tirelessly searches for sacred Kroot artifacts hidden within the shifting halls. The Imperial robot UR-025 is an oddity even by the standards of Precipice. Clad in thick metallic plating and bearing devastating weaponry, his battle machine is a highly sought-after ally for those looking to venture into the Blackstone fortress. Having arrived at Precipice on a dilapidated Imperial junker hauler, it emitted an auto-proclamation claiming it had been sent by Magos Ethericus Nactos III as an autonomous data collection unit, and that it had directives for sanctioned eradication of those who impeded in the Omnissiah's given duty. But in truth, the robot is far more ancient than anyone realized. Its origins date back to the dark age of technology, when mankind built thinking machines that eventually turned violently upon their masters. Known as the Men of Iron, these sentient robots were all but wiped out. Yet UR-025 has persisted over the long millennia, hiding on the fringes of the galaxy, and allowing others to believe it is an autonomous tool of the Imperium. Unlike the other inhabitants of Precipice, it cares little of the trinkets of Xeno races that had been to some by the Blackstone fortress. Instead, it seeks to obtain the technologies of the fortress itself, for in the colossal space station, UR-025 sees a kindred being. Willy, cunning, and unbashfully larcenous, the twins, Rain and Rouse Goffer, are admired and distrusted in equal measure on Precipice. As members of the abhuman species known as the Ratlings, they are comfortable operating on the fringes of society, and are quick to demonstrate that their small stature does not make them easy targets for violence. As far as anyone has been able to tell, Rain and Ross were stowaways aboard a ship that was following the signal emitted by the fortress, and upon reaching the wreckage nebula, they borrowed a smaller vessel with which to travel through the debris. No one has been able to figure out if the pair had planned this journey ahead of time, or if each leg was simply improvised. Regardless, they have proven themselves worthy combatants and explorers since they arrived, with Rain being a crack-shot sniper and Ross a nimble acrobat. The gear they bear suggests that they were once part of the Astra Militarum Auxilia regiments, but they have shown no sign that they are operating as part of a sanctioned mission. With little fingers, they riffle through the archaeotech pulled from the Blackstone fortress, keeping the best for themselves and selling the rest for a healthy profit. And those were 40 facts on the heroes of the Blackstone Fortress. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, share it with your friends on Reddit or Facebook, or just send this to any friend that you would like to play Blackstone Fortress with. The game is actually pretty interesting. It's way different than Warhammer 40K. I was reading the rules, and yeah, it's just a completely different beast all in its own. Don't forget, though, that we are doing a giveaway right now, so if you check out our 40 facts on the new Blackstone Fortress, we're giving away the box set itself. You could win it by simply liking, commenting on that video, and being a subscriber. You could even go back every day and comment to increase your chances of winning. I picked the winner out of the comment section. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Just don't spam, because then YouTube will just delete all of your hard worked for comments, I guess. Each one of these players, or each one of these heroes, is really badass for the game, but then on top of that, it gives you a data sheet. So each one of these models has their own special rules, and it's not generic. Each one of them has special abilities unique to that person, I mean, when you play Warhammer 40K, you can't use more than one per army. But if you're a Tau player, really recommend you try to go on eBay and pick up the Recruit Tracker. He has some really cool special abilities. If you play Eldar, the Eldar. If you play anything in the Imperium, it's a lot of fun to have the Rogue Trader, the Rattling Twins, even the Priest. Their special abilities and their rules, they don't break Warhammer 40K because it's just one character, but it's a lot of fun. So if you are used to playing, or if you like fluffiness, and hopefully these models do something crazy in your game, definitely pick them up on eBay, or like I said, win them by participating in our giveaway. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any other suggestions for other topics of Warhammer 40K, don't forget to comment down below. We have a Patreon. It's a simple $1 a month, and it helps us create more videos. So you can support us on there if you can't. Simply by liking, commenting, and sharing. It helps out the channel. And I don't know if I've already said this, but let me know what your favorite character is. Definitely mine is the Rattling Twins and the Recruit Tracker. I don't know if I already said that. But yeah, they seem like the most fun. I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.
Oh, I used to put my